Hey, what is up, guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So here we are again in the Legendary Goku event. Slap a like for the Legendary Goku event, man. This run was actually not as easy as I thought it would be. So what you're going to notice, we do end up skipping around a little bit. I think I accidentally skipped over all of STR UI Goku, who kind of gave me the most trouble. But what you're going to notice is we absolutely just tear through this event up until about Blue Goku, and then we really have to start being a little bit more calculated with our moves. So there's Broly. He just took 119,000 on the super attack. That Fizz Broly, man, is like, you know, people talk about units being, quote, designed for the Legendary Goku event. Well, he is quite literally designed for this event. So number one, he's Fizz. So he's going to have type advantage over Int UI. So that's obviously super helpful. And you guys are going to see it. You know, that DBZ Broly, excuse me, is so incredibly clutch down the stretch, man. Int UI, by the time he builds everything up, he's an animal. He's an absolute animal. So if you guys have him, and again, so these are one of these new missions that are coming out. So movie bosses is one of the categories. That's kind of what is inspiring me to do all these Legendary Goku videos lately. So the other day was Hybrid Saiyans. Today is movie bosses. I'm just kind of, you know, picking them off one by one. But this DBZ Broly, man, let's kind of, you know, we don't need to go super in depth, but basically, in a nutshell, he's going to cause supreme damage, which is, I don't know if I'd call it a shaft, but it is a little bit of a shaft. But let's kind of go over the rest of his cards. So he gets supreme damage at SA 15. So he's still hitting quite hard. And he also infinitely stacks attack and defense. And the other cool part, so kind of his passive ability. So he is going to be able to super at 8 key. So essentially how that works is he's getting all of his passive is on his super attack. So that's kind of why he can get touched up before he supers. So he gets attack and defense 80% and key 4 when he supers. So that's kind of how that works. So that would mean he can super when he only has 8 key. And you'll see it throughout the duration of this event, right? So and then he also was stacking his attack and defense. He stacks crit every single time he attacks. Now, it's not a lot. It's only by 2% every super attack. Actually, it might be every attack. I think it's just every attack. He stacks crit 2%, and that's up to 40%. So, you know, that is a bare minimum, assuming you get a super with him every time. He's getting a guaranteed additional super attack. One of the only cards in the game to do that, by the way. Guaranteed additional super, stacks attack and defense, and he essentially stacks crit. So, you know, the bare minimum you would need is, 10 turns, right? And on occasion, you're going to see him get 3 super attacks, of course, because he's, again, one of these units that can get 3 super attacks. So a very, very nice card for this event. So if you guys plan on trying to do all these events, which obviously, you know, you should try at least, then I would definitely recommend bringing DBZ Broly. Now, I had him linked up with the AGL Broly. Again, one of these units, I can't say that he's designed for this event, but just, wow, that was Turles taking 94k. Jeez Louise. But this AGL Broly, another one of these units that is just so good. So if you're ever doing a multi and you get him as your unfeatured guaranteed SSR, boy oh boy, is that a good pull for you. This dude is really, really good. I wish I had him rainbowed. I believe I have one dupe in mind. For whatever reason, he's just eluded me, you know, ever since. I mean, geez, so that banner, the Gogeta and Broly banner, came out over a year ago, and I've only pulled 2 copies of him. Seems a little hard to believe. He's been unfeatured on every single banner. Well, essentially every single banner. But this guy, number one, he gets key 1 just at the start of every turn. So you basically by you know, basically the bare minimum by turn 6, he's going to be auto-supering, you know, without even having any key links active. He gets attack and defense 70%, and he stacks attack and defense for 3 turns. Wow, that was with the Berserker link active. Whoa, 2.74. Whoa! So he stacks attack and defense for 3 turns. So, you know, his defense can actually get quite respectable. Even in this event, you'll see he's actually still quite effective. You know, with Big Bad Bosses and active, I think he has Big Bad Bosses. But there are points where his defense gets, you know, 150k, you know, and beyond. So quite good defensively, very good offensively, as you just saw there, especially if you can get that Berserker link active. That was very clutch right there. So, but yeah, he's getting attack and defense 70% at the start of turn. And actually, every time he gets hit, he gets attack 20%, and that's up to 80%. So essentially, he's getting attack and defense up to 150%. And obviously, in this event, you're going to get that, you know, basically no matter what. There's really no way for him to avoid hits for the whole event. So, and here's Turles transforming. We can go ahead and go over Turles. Essentially, what he's doing, so he does cause immense damage on his super. And he also has a medium chance to stun, which of course, you know, isn't going to do us any good here. But, you know, for other events, man, Turles is super good. And before he transforms, this is kind of why I brought him. So a couple reasons. Number one, my DBZ Broly has 0 dupes in him. So he's not going to be real effective in this event, where UI Goku has so much defense. Even a type disadvantage super attack, well, I suppose for us it would be a type advantage super attack. It's still not going to do a ton of damage if you can't crit. I mean, straight up, man, again, he's just one of these units. He's been on a bunch of banners. I've only ever pulled 1 copy, so it just kind of is what it is, right? I told you guys I got completely thrashed on the Zamasu and Trunks banners. So that's part of it as well. But anyway, back to Turles. So before he transforms, he's providing the whole rotation key 3 attack 40%. So still one of the best support units in the game. And in events where he can lower attack, he just sort of passively lowers attack by 15%. So for something like Super Battle Road, Turles is an absolute just, you know, just a killer, right? I mean, he's really, really good. So I didn't bring DBZ Broly, I brought Turles. The other reason is because I have mine rainbowed. I ended up pulling a ton of copies of him on, I forget what banner. What banner was he last on? Oh boy, I'm drawing a blank here. Was it on one? Was it on the 300 million maybe? Maybe he was on that banner. I don't remember, but I ended up rainbowing him. It was long story short. And now he does have a transformation. So he is like the original transforming unit. So when he transforms, he is actually quite nasty. So just straight up attack and defense 130%. His stun chance goes up to high chance to stun. And then he's passively lowering the super class enemies defense by 80%. So remember, the legendary Goku event, he can have his defense lowered, just not his attack lowered from Tech God Goku and beyond. So that proved to be significant. Now the only problem is you know, when he sort of transforms, you know, obviously he loses that support type passive, but he becomes a very strong unit just in general. Probably not exactly great for this event, but again, he was a better option in my opinion than my DBZ Broly. I mean, DBZ Broly, I suppose, like, I still could have brought him, we probably still would have got it done, but, you know, Turles ended up being useful, so I can't complain too bad. But moving on to the rest of the team, so DBS Broly. Now this guy, he is, in my opinion, I've been saying this, you know, pretty much since he came out. He's one of the best, if not the best, floating units in the entire game. Just a unit that you can run off rotation, and he's just going to consistently get shit done. So why is that? So number one, he's providing himself an insane amount of ki. So even when he's untransformed, he's giving himself ki +6. And then he gets, you know, just basically attack 130 and defense 100. So nothing crazy, but that ki 6 is crazy. You don't ever have to worry about him super attacking. You know, and then also he has prepared for battle and shocking speed. So as a movie boss category leader, that's very important because you kind of have a mishmash of Saiyans and like you have Frieza units, Janemba. I mean, you guys can see the team, right? So him having both of those major key links is so helpful for the team. So he's a very, very nice leader. I would say he's a better leader than Turles, and really an overall better card than Turles. But of course, Turles has his use, right? So specifically as a support type, I really, really like Turles. But when Broly transforms, he gets attack 188%, which is crazy. And then he gets defense 120. And then he launches a guaranteed additional attack, and it has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So, you know, DBS Broly is very, very good. The only problem with him in this event is that SDRUI Goku phase. You know, he does not stack anything, so he does greatly raise. So in his untransformed, he greatly raises attack. And another reason why it's significant when he transforms is he massively lowers defense on super attack. So against someone like UI Goku, he can do some insane damage. And if you get him 3 super attacks, which he is capable of doing, of course, you know, you get the guaranteed additional attack, which could be a super. And then from his potential system, of course. I imagine you guys are familiar with that at this point. Oh, nice dodge, UI. UI, we had pretty good luck with the dodging this time around. And to be honest, with this team, you're going to need some good luck. You know, we still haven't been over all of the units. So Int Janemba, you know, and Tech Gold and Frieza, man, I decided to make them just their own rotation, and they seem to do quite well together. They both have shocking speed, so that was really nice. Didn't take much for them to super. And then we, of course, have a few supports as well. So, Int Janemba, you know, one of the best TURs in the entire game still. The best part about his card is he gets this guaranteed guard against all attacks. So, he's essentially taking half damage from anyone he's up against, you know. So, if you guys are unfamiliar with the guard and typing and all of that, so it's essentially like all of the units that he's facing are tech type. So he's not going to take, he's going to, yeah, like I said, take half damage. So that's probably the best part about his card. He also has a medium chance of evading enemies' attacks, which just, you know, adds to his brokenness. His huge basically he's got LR stats, but his huge EZA stats. He's one of the only EZAs in the game that actually has a plus 7,000 potential system. So that is significant. Those extra stats make him hit like a fucking truck. So don't get it twisted. And just overall, just a really, really, really good unit. I really, really love Janemba. He's just a monster. And if you link him up with AGL Turles, he just does crazy, crazy, crazy damage. So I brought him primarily for his defense in this event, and the same thing with Tech Golden Frieza. So I have been over his card before, but I decided to float him off, mostly because I wanted Fizz Broly to be on rotation so he could do some massive damage, lower his defense, you know, etc., right? Type advantage. It almost proved to be fatal, though, because he gets supered right off the rip, and that was scary. I mean, again, Broly is not necessarily designed for this type of event, but turns out I made the right choice. We did get the W in the end. But Tech Golden Frieza, man, so he gets 80% damage reduction when his HP is 50% or above, and he's getting 80% attack. Now, when his HP falls below 50%, he goes down to 50% damage reduction, but then he gets an additional 50% attack, so 130% attack. So offensively, he's solid. Defensively, he's an absolute stud muffin. So, you know, he's a very clear choice of someone you need to bring. There's not a ton. This team is very, very good, but there's not a ton of units, you know, quote, like designed for this event. So there's not a ton of units that stack. DBZ Broly is basically it.
Go ahead and let me know in the comments below if I'm forgetting someone, but that's basically it. And the last unit we have not gone over is just probably the best support unit in the game, in the Steely Hatred Int Metal Cooler. He's just so incredibly good. So just, you know, right off the bat, he himself, he's getting, I think it's 50% attack and defense. And he gives all allies, even super types, he's giving all allies 30% attack. And then extreme types, he is giving a whopping 50% defense and 3 key. So in this particular situation, I just decided that the rest of the units getting defense, getting key, getting attack was going to be more important than just the damage of the AGL Metal Cooler. So AGL Metal Cooler would have been a solid choice to bring. But, you know, again, one of the primary mechanics of AGL Metal Cooler is he lowers attack and defense on his super attack. And that makes him, you know, obviously it makes him really, really good for, like, Super Battle Road, you know, Dokkan events, Dokkan Battlefield and stuff. But I think for this event, that was a shitty dodge of UI Goku. But luckily we have him down to about, you know, 1 health bar-ish. So if Turles gets the crit, well, certainly. Okay. Well, he did not, so there we go. But the Int Metal Cooler is definitely a solid choice, but I would definitely say make sure you have him rainbowed, or at least like 2 dupes. And I did actually give mine. I don't know if you guys noticed throughout the duration of the event, but Int Metal Cooler, I don't know what really I was thinking. I think I was just thinking maximum utility, but I gave my Int Metal Cooler 20 dodge, and guess what? I don't regret it. And then he's got 3 crit, 3 additional. So, you know, the potential at least is there for him to do those things, but I just decided to go full utility for this guy. Oh, you son of a bitch, and your dodge. Luckily, Int Janemba is going to finish it off for us here. So, but that was the run, guys. Movie bosses in the books. It wasn't easy. I actually did die, I think, 1 time before this one, so. But anyway, guys, slap a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you're new. I love all you guys. Thanks for the support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.